You know, if you live in Marrero, Louisiana, you might not realize it, but there's a war being fought right under your house. A hidden war. It's this constant battle between your home's plumbing and, well, the uniquely aggressive environment we've got here. So let's get into it and see what's really happening beneath your floors. So, what is it about this specific corner of Jefferson Parish that's so incredibly tough on pipes? I mean, why does it seem like plumbing failures here are so common and sometimes just catastrophic? In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what forces are at play and, more importantly, what it all means for your home.
All right, first up, Marrero's hostile environment and the four main culprits that are working against your pipes. And look, the problems that homeowners face here, they aren't just random bits of bad luck. They're the direct result of a few powerful local factors that are always on the attack.
Okay, so what are we dealing with exactly? It really boils down to these four things. First, you've got this shifting clay soil. Think of it like a giant hand underground that's constantly squeezing and stressing your pipes. At the same time, high water tables mean everything is damp, constantly attacking your pipes from the outside with moisture. Then you throw in the fact that a lot of the infrastructure dates back to the 60s and 70s and top it all off with hard municipal water that builds up nasty mineral deposits on the inside. It's a perfect storm for plumbing failure.
This quote right here really nails it. Local expertise isn't just some nice-to-have bonus. It is absolutely critical. This isn't just plumbing. It's plumbing in a very specific, very aggressive environment. Any plumber who doesn't get that isn't really fixing the problem. They're just putting a temporary patch on it. So now let's connect the dots. All those big environmental issues, they lead to a set of very specific and honestly predictable problems inside your home. These are not random accidents. They're the logical conclusion when pipes are put under this much constant stress. First up is the one everyone dreads, the slab leak. And this is a direct result of that shifting clay soil we just talked about. As your home's foundation moves, and it does, it puts this incredible strain on the copper water lines buried in the concrete until, pop, they crack and start leaking right underneath you. Okay, so how can you tell if you have one? You've got to be a bit of a detective. If you suddenly feel a warm spot on your floor, that's a huge red flag for a hot water line leak. A water bill that suddenly skyrockets? Or maybe you hear water running when everything is turned off? Yeah, that's your water meter spinning like crazy and your money just pouring right into the ground. Next, a big one for any home built before 1980, corroded cast iron drains. Remember that two-front war? This is it. You've got corrosive sewage eating away at the pipe from the inside, while that high water table and damp soil are attacking it from the outside. Eventually, the pipe wall just disintegrates. The warning signs here can be subtle at first. You know, a few slow drains, maybe a weird gurgling sound from the toilet, but please do not ignore these signs. They are the early warnings that your entire drain system might be about to fail, which, well, that can lead to a raw sewage backup right inside your house. No one wants that. Now here's a really costly one. Your water heater dying way too soon. That hard water we have is loaded with minerals, and they all settle at the bottom of the tank, forming this thick layer of sediment. This forces the heater to work way, way harder to heat the water, and eventually it just rusts right through. A heater that should last 12 to 15 years, here in Marrero, you might only get 8 or 10 out of it. It's a huge difference. And finally, there's root intrusion. I mean, we love our beautiful oak and cypress trees, but man, they are thirsty. Their roots are incredibly powerful and they can sense water. They will find the tiniest crack in your sewer line, force their way in, and then just explode into a massive blockage that a simple drain snake has no chance against. Okay, that was a lot of bad news, I know. But here's the good news. All of these problems have solutions. The key, though, is that how a repair is done is every bit as important as the repair itself. So let's walk through what a true professional response should look like. A real pro makes the process clear and takes the stress out of it for you. It all starts with the very first call, where they ask the right questions. Then they do a thorough diagnosis to find the actual root cause, not just patch a symptom. And they give you a clear, flat-rate price before they start. Finally, they do the repair and they test it to make sure it's working perfectly before they even think about packing up their tools. This number right here, this is a total game changer. When a plumber shows up with over 200 different parts on their truck, it means they can almost certainly fix your problem right then and there, on the first visit. No waiting around for a part to get ordered, no paying for a second trip charge. It's the difference between getting your life back to normal in a few hours versus a few days. And of course, in an emergency, speed is absolutely everything.
When you've got water pouring through your ceiling or, worse, sewage backing up into your bathtub, a professional service makes that call a top priority. The goal is to be at your door ready to work in about an hour to stop the damage from spreading. Let's move to our final section, and honestly, this might be the most important one. In an environment as tough as Marrero, doing things by the book isn't just a suggestion. It is the only way to make sure a repair is actually going to last and that your home is protected. So when something breaks, you've really got two roads you can go down. On one side, you have the professional, code-compliant way. They pull the permits, which means their work gets inspected and verified by Jefferson Parish. They use the right materials for our local conditions. Then you have the other way, the risky corner-cutting approach. These guys skip the permits to save a buck or some time, and they might use improper materials. And let me tell you, the takeaway is crystal clear. That cheap fix you think you're getting today, that's almost always the cause of the crazy expensive catastrophe down the road. And this is exactly why that license matters so much. A master plumber license is not just a piece of paper. It represents years of apprenticeship, passing tough state exams on code and practical skills, and ongoing education to stay up to date. It's your guarantee that the person in your home has proven, verified skills and is legally authorized to do the job right. So, we'll leave you with this question. After everything we've talked about, Marrero's hostile environment, and all the specific ways it attacks your home, you have to ask yourself, is my plumbing ready for the challenge? And maybe more importantly, who am I going to trust to fight that hidden war for me?